Going to talk about throwing the left hand back on your backhand. Okay. So the other day, I'm giving a lesson to this girl, and she's the type who gets very nervous. A lot of kids do, a lot of players do, and she locks her hips.
Mm.
And I was trying to teach her a one-handed slice backhand to give her more. She's a two-hander, and so these two good players next to me. So we're going to talk about throwing the left hand back on your backhand. Okay. So that's the next tip is why on a one-hander would you throw your left hand back? Well, the tip on its face is not a bad idea, but is it just throw it back anywhere? Is it to keep you sideways? What
Yeah.
is it exactly for? And why do Henin and the great one-handers, Federer, why do
Right.
they throw their left hand back? And does it matter where and how you throw it back?
Yeah.
So the other day I'm giving this girl a lesson, and well, before I go into this story, why don't you tell me what your thoughts are on the one-hander? Have you thought
Yeah.
about
Well,
throwing the left hand
yeah,
back?
absolutely. There's some natural laws. It's, laws of inertia. It's a counterbalance. So
Hmm.
for every action, there's an opposite and
Hmm.
equal reaction. So
Hmm.
it certainly beats leaving your arm down and doing nothing,
It
uh,
does,
or over rotating with both arms coming through.
correct?
So I absolutely believe that there's some truth and importance to having that nice counterbalance, whether it's that one-handed volley, whether it's the slice, or whether it's that one-handed topspin. So there's some validity to that.
I'll give you that. I don't think I can send the one-handed the throwback. That is not guilty of being a bad tip. It's just unfortunately not complete. I was giving a lesson the other day to this girl. She's got a two-hander, and I thought I'll give her a slice one-hander because I don't like two-handed backhand volleys and I don't like two-handed slices. Both of those are very off balance. Like you say, there's no
Yeah.
counterbalance. So I'm giving her this lesson, but she locks her side. She's the type who gets very nervous. And so when she hits her slice, she just locks her whole body and just throws her arm out like this. And some guy walks by us. Now I'm watching these two guys play. They play as well as you and I. They're good, solid 5-0 guys, and probably about closer to your age. And they're hitting a really good ball. And one guy, he's really nice, walks by, and I'm just roll my eyes because, he doesn't know who I am or what we're doing. And he says, it really helps to throw your left hand back. And I said, well, yeah, that's true, generally speaking. I said, but the problem I have with her is she is too sideways. So throwing your left hand back is not going to help us at all. If anything, it'd actually make it worse. I said, I'm trying to get her to get a little trigger with her hips so they come out just a little, pulling the arm into the slice. And then, yes, throw your left hand back. But I said to the guy, I said, where do you want it to lock you? He goes, sideways. I go, wrong. I said, I appreciate it. I said, I watch you play. And I said, you don't end up sideways. You end up right here at the 45. He goes, well, yeah, it's pretty much sideways. I go, see, that's the issue. So he was trying to be a nice guy, but I said to him, I
Yeah.
said, look, you don't know from whence you speak because you're just saying, it works for me, throw my left hand back. That's
Mm.
that bully mentality. It works for me, so why doesn't it work for you? But he doesn't realize this guy's obviously played college his whole life. He
Yeah.
must have been 50, and he's played
Yeah.
his whole life. And he was playing. I see this guy there every day. They play for 2, 3 hours. They play all the
Wow.
tournaments, so it works for him. But like I said, it's such a bully mentality because he's not really picking at it correctly, right? He's just saying throw your left hand back. The
Yeah.
problem I'm having with this girl is she has no lower body movement in
Right.
the slice, so it has nothing on it. It's just a big floaty meatball. And so I needed to get her to do that. So you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Throwing your left hand back, although it is a good tip, I would say generally speaking, if you really don't know what you're talking about, if you think it keeps you sideways, well, that's how you end up with, hip surgery, hip replacements. And Elliot Telcher used to stay sideways on his backhand, and both his hips had to have, hip
Yeah.
replacement.
Yeah.
Billy Martin played one for UCLA, one Kalamazoo, both hips
Coach.
replaced because they were taught to sit in a chair. I was taught by Harry Hopman too, sit in a chair, throw your hands. But with the great athletes, they face the 45 when they throw that hand back. You watch Warenka,
Yeah. Yeah.
They're always facing the 45. So just throwing the hand back really isn't good enough if you don't know what the balance point of the stroke is.
Right.
Follow me?
Well, I follow you too, and it sounds like, the girl you were working with, it was pretty new for her to be working on a one-handed slice. So
Correct?
wouldn't that be nice if just saying, "Oh, throw your hand back." Throw your
Exactly.
hand back? Like throw my
Exactly.
hand back? What
Exactly.
there is so much more to guiding her in the right way so she has the chance to have a really great one-handed backhand slice as she develops as a tennis player. And, I wish throw your hand back could be such a quick and great complete fix, but
Everybody would have a one-hander.
you're just it's the tip of the
Everybody would have a
iceberg.
one-hander if that's
Yeah,
all you had to do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's so much more detail into how it goes back. Um, and the counterbalance too. I mean, it's a little bit off the topic, but related. But where do you throw that? If she's taking a ball higher above the net, then that hand is probably going to stay a little higher. If she's taking the ball from below the net, then that back arm is probably going to stay a little lower, like kind of a plane, trying to keep the wings level based on, are you turning, are you going straight? So throw the hand back is just the tip of the iceberg.
It's just the tip of the iceberg, and that's really the issue. Once again, people don't see that little hip rotation. They don't see that
Yeah.
little figure eight, right? They welcome the ball in with the hips and they send it away. But that little move sets everything else up. And then understanding that the balance point of the stroke is the 45. So, I mean, those two things alone will help that left hand tip become actually helpful rather than just throw it back. So, yeah, no, it's the things you don't see, like I
Yeah.
always say, that really make all the difference.
So it can be a good tip,
It can be a good
but
tip.
it needs to be fit in properly in the bigger picture of developing that stroke.